guys, it's Melanie, and today I'm going to be showing you a review and a demo of the It Cosmetics Celebration Foundation set that I purchased during the Friends and Family sale that It Cosmetics was having. And the name of this duo, and I will also leave it down below for you, is the Celebration Foundation Confidence in a Compact Duo. So this claims to be your full coverage, flawless skin in 30 seconds. The set does come with the Heavenly Luxe Dual Airbrush Foundation and Concealer Brush. So this is the number 7 brush. I still have the little plastic thing on this bottom part because I don't know that I'm going to use this, and this makes it a little bit easier for me to stir the brush without crushing those bristles completely. So anyway, the set does come with both of these items. The color that I chose was Fair, which is a pretty good match for me. I'm pretty pasty white. This is the color right here. It Cosmetics is a cruelty-free company, and the products are made in the US. I like the compact. It's definitely a very sturdy compact. It has that same rubberized finish as the NARS compacts do. I think we all kind of compare any of this like rubberized packaging automatically to NARS because they were kind of the first to use that. But it also comes with a nice size mirror here. And there is a sponge that comes in the bottom as well. It's just your typical foundation type sponge. I don't use those. I find the coverage to be much too cakey and heavy when I use those, so that's just going to stay down there. So this claims to have hydrolyzed collagen in it. Well, it doesn't claim to. It apparently does contain hydrolyzed collagen, peptides, and drops of light technology. It also has niacinamides, hyaluronic filling spheres, antioxidants, rose, silk, and aloe. So this is a little bit more of a hydrating powder foundation. Powder foundations can sometimes tend to look pretty heavy and cakey if they are not the right formula for your skin. In the past, I have been much more geared towards like mattifying powder foundations. I'm starting to steer a little bit away from those because the older I get, the more pronounced the lines in my forehead get. I have a very expressive face, and I'm constantly like, you know, scrunching my eyebrows up and down and creating like the 11s here. And so those are becoming much more pronounced. And I think it's going to be time for some Botox here soon. I'm 36, and I've always kind of thought that I would take the Botox route, and now that I'm nearing 40, I really do see myself taking that step. But anyway, that's besides the point. I've started gearing towards these more moisturizing types of powder foundations because they tend to be a little bit less harsh with the lines on your face. Now, this particular foundation does claim to not settle into your fine lines or your pores at all. And I definitely do find that to be the case, but you want to make sure to not over apply the product. In the demo, you'll see that I apply it over the Miracle Skin Transformer, which is my go-to everyday primer. Essentially, this is basically a BB cream. I do wait for a few minutes before applying the powder foundation on top of that because I don't want to create any cakiness or anything like that. You really want any primer or moisturizer that you do use to really fully sink into your skin and sort of like settle before you put any powder foundation on top. So I was looking through the It Cosmetics website, and they really say that there's a lot of benefits to using this particular foundation. So I thought I would kind of highlight those and talk about them a little bit. So the first key benefit is that it's highly pigmented powder foundation that covers absolutely everything and anything. So in terms of being buildable, it absolutely is. I could have definitely, as you'll see in the demo, I could have put on an additional layer and gotten even more coverage. But I find that doing one and maybe focusing like on areas where I have a little bit more discoloration, like I have a little bit right here on my face, I find just focusing a little bit more on there makes the foundation more comfortable to wear, and it helps it to keep from feeling so heavy, because I do know that powder foundation can tend to feel that way. So it is definitely very buildable. and it's easy to build up, and it doesn't look bad over time in the areas where you choose to build it up. You know how sometimes like foundation can crack a little bit and just not look very good towards the end of the day? I do not find that to be the case with this particular Celebration foundation at all. It says it's infused with amazing ingredients for younger looking skin. So I haven't used it long enough to notice like the long-term skincare benefits from this, but I really like this foundation, so I definitely give it 2 thumbs up. Like, let's just get that out of the way. I really enjoy the foundation. I find it easy to use, and I hope that using it over time will give me some skincare benefits. There's certainly a lot of very good ingredients in here. So it doesn't crease, crack, or make you look older. I would agree with that. I'm 36. I think I kind of look somewhere in the early 30s range, and you know, I don't find that this powder foundation makes me look aged in any kind of way, so I would agree with that. And it's packed with anti-aging ingredients and gives a true airbrushed look that works for all ages. I do definitely think that this is a product that would work for people who are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and above. If you like powder foundation, this one is very easy to work with. You know, you just kind of swirl it around in here, get some on, and you just, you know, buff it into your skin. It feels amazing. And I find the color range to be decent. There are 5 different colors. I find them to be a little bit more pink leaning, which isn't ideal for me because I have a lot more yellow in my skin. When I get color from the sun, I get a tan. Sometimes I'll burn if I'm out too long, but mostly I just get a tan. So, and that's because I have that nice yellow undertone to my skin. Not that people who have pink undertones don't have a nice skin tone, but it just kind of works in my favor for that. And the light is definitely, I would say the light is pretty neutral. It's not too pink, not too yellow, but the other colors that I have tested in my local Ulta seem to lean a little bit more towards the like neutrally pink side than anything else. So I would see if you can find this at an Ulta and color match yourself, although powder foundation tends to be a little bit more forgiving than liquid foundations do, so you don't have to be quite as precise. I always recommend blending the product down onto your neck just to, you know, sort of help with that transition. But anyway, I find the color selection to be decent for a powder foundation. They should come out with a few more options, but, you know, maybe they'll work on that in the future. Overall, I really feel like not only is this particular set an amazing deal because I got it for 25% off, so I paid just over $37 and I got free shipping. Normally this retails for $49.50, but I think even for $49.50, this is an extremely good deal. The brush is super, super high quality. It's dense, but it's not too dense. And if you are looking for that concealing option, there definitely is a concealer type brush underneath that you could use with the foundation as well. I use this right up around my eyes and don't have any issues with that. But I'm also not dry. My skin type is extremely oily, and so it doesn't really affect like my under eye area too terribly. I guess the one benefit of having oily skin is that I'm aging pretty decently and I don't have a lot of lines in that area yet. Overall, I'm really pleased. I keep looking in the mirror because I love the way my skin looks with this foundation. I really do enjoy it. It wears well throughout the day. I normally touch it up by blotting maybe at like 3, 4 in the afternoon once, and then I'm basically good until the end of the night. It doesn't separate. It feels great on my skin throughout the day, and it just applies beautifully. Like, there's nothing bad I can say about this foundation. I'm certainly sad that I haven't tried it sooner. Heard a lot of people talking about this and just never really was all that interested in it because I've been using the Everyday Minerals for so long. But I do prefer the pressed format of powder foundations because they're a little bit less messy. So overall, this is a huge hit for me. I definitely think it's worth a splurge for a powder foundation. It's expensive. I want to say that the single, just the powder foundation by itself, if you have a brush to go with it, it's $35. So not cheap, but I do see this lasting for quite some time. I mean, unless you're really digging your brush in there, like this should last you for several months. Probably the same amount of time that a liquid foundation would last you if you were to use it on a daily basis. So as far as providing additional coverage on top of a liquid foundation, I'm sure you could definitely do that if you want to. I just feel like this provides such good coverage by itself that you wouldn't need a liquid foundation. Maybe a concealer to sort of spot treat any super problem areas, but I think this is enough, and it's buildable enough to where you wouldn't need anything else. So convenience, yes. Great brush, yes. Combination together, perfection. I really think it's worth the splurge, you guys. I will put the link for it, of course, down below. I will also put a link to a QVC set that is probably right around the same price, but it has a slightly different brush that isn't dual-ended that you might be interested in. So I'll put a link for that down below as well. But great product overall, highly recommend it. And let's go ahead and get into the demo. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, guys, so I'm going to take the Celebration foundation and the brush that came with the set, and I'm going to apply that over my Sarah McNamara Miracle Skin Transformer. I use this every single day, and I use about a pea-sized amount and spread it all over my face, and I let it dry for about 3 or 4 minutes before I go in with my foundation, just to make sure that it's not tacky or anything, because if you go to your powder foundation too quickly, it can tend to want to grab a little bit. So my little sidekick is hanging out with me this morning. So let's go ahead and take the foundation, and I'm just swirling the brush in there like that, and then I'll start on this side of my face. So I'm just going to start working it into my skin from the center out. The Fair is a little bit too light for me to start out with, but once the oil in my skin sort of pokes through a little bit, it definitely becomes my ideal color. So I would rather start out lighter than have it oxidize throughout the day, if that makes sense. This glides on my skin really, really easily. Doesn't feel heavy at all. So I'll try to do just kind of one side of my face here so you can hopefully see the difference. It does provide a decent amount of coverage, and it seems to be buildable. And the brush works really, really well with this particular foundation. So there you can see this half obviously has the foundation and this one does not. It just sort of evens things out a little bit for me, and it gives me a blank canvas basically. So I'm going to go in and warm all of this up a little bit with a little bit of bronzer. I do like that this is pressed because it's a lot less messy to use. My desk is normally pretty like covered with powder foundation on most days, especially when I use my Everyday Minerals, which I love. I just wish that they would be able to come out with a pressed format of that particular powder, because it really is like my favorite foundation, but I don't think that they're going to be doing that anytime soon, so I'll still continue to purchase it. This brush is just so nice. It really, like, I bet it would work really well for liquid foundation too. I do have a tiny bit of redness around my nose, and this does cover it up really nicely. And that's it. So that is the coverage that it provides. So like I said, it really sort of blanks everything out and gives me a clean slate to work with. So yeah, that is the application of the It Cosmetics Celebration Foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my face, and thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.